discuss man-made versus God-made, serving mammon and serving God, okay, or serving this one. Okay, when I talk about this one and serving God, what am I talking about? I'm talking about your spirit. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. Okay, where's your spirit? Oh, it's in here. And there's a separation between the body and the spirit. Okay, so whatever you call this, energy, spirit, soul, whatever you call that, that's what I'm talking about. That's the spiritual part of what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about church. I'm not talking about religious dogma, although I do mention it. I mention it in contrast so that you can have a reference point. Okay, because when Jesus Christ says the kingdom is within, he's telling you the truth. The kingdom is within, not out there. Why? Because you're walking around in a simulation. Where is the simulation happening? In here. Okay, it's the assimilation of data that your brain puts together. Okay, because your subconscious is a culmination of all of your senses, everything. Okay, what you see, what you feel, what you touch, and it also remembers everything you've ever done. It is your book of life. Okay, so we're going to dispel some of the magical aspects of manifestation. It's not magic, it's you. You are the miracle. You look at the miracle every day in the mirror, but you miss it, you don't see it. Why? Because it's in here. The kingdom is within. But your eyes look away from the kingdom and you think, oh, it's that over there. That's the miracle. Or God is up there. Or that is the salvation. Or I got to go to the temple. Or I have to go to the holy river. Or I have to make the pilgrimage to wherever. Okay? This is not about judgment. This is about understanding who you are in here and the power that lies in here. Jesus told you, okay, Gautama Buddha told you, Krishna told you. These things are not, this is not new information. But things are getting pretty cloudy when you have people saying, well, if you do this spell and then, and this incantation and it will bring you what you desire. Oh, really? Well, you have a choice. You can believe the spell. You can believe whatever it is. You want to draw a circle on the floor and throw salt over your shoulder and you want to go through a ritual? Okay, go ahead. Okay, if that's how you walk down the avenue of belief to your subconscious, okay, but you don't have to, I'm saying. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. You don't have to put that much energy into it, is what I'm saying. Okay? So, yes, if you want to be a witch, if you want to be a sorcerer, if you want to be whatever, all of that, okay? If you want to be a Satanist, or if you want to be a Christian, if you want to be a Buddhist, or whatever, you're still going to manifest. There's no judgment, okay? I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you how to believe. But what I am here to do is to tell you how this one works and how easy it is, okay, with a little patience, because, I was telling Jay this morning that the universe does not snap into position for you, okay? You have to hold the center point in your mind, and then your timeline starts to converge like this to accommodate that belief. Everything operates off the subconscious, off what you believe to be true. How do we know this? Well, look at the things around you. Okay, the people that believe they're poor, right, have poor conditions. Because the universal law, right, there's 12 universal laws, main universal laws. Okay, but the universal law of correspondence tells us that whatever's going on in here is reflected out here. Why? Because the way you believe, okay, so the roots of this, look at the tree again, the roots of the tree, okay? Your foundational beliefs, what you believe constructs your paradigm, your worldview. The worldview, your worldview gives way to the fruits up here. It produces the fruits of the tree on top. What are the fruits? The fruits are your actions. What do your actions get? Results. Can you change the actions on the fruits of the tree? You will know them by their fruits, right? That's in the Bible. Can you change that and get random results? Yes. But if you want lasting results, you got to change the roots. No such thing as just the fruits. Anybody can do that. Okay, any shyster can do that. If they're doing that and they go, okay, look here, da da da, right? You know, the posers of the world, people that are posing as something, but not really. They're not, that's not really who they are, right? And you know this, why? Because they can't keep it up. I worked with tons of these people over the years in different industries because it was show business. So show is on the surface. It's what we show, it's what we project, it's what we do. Okay? Now, behind the scenes, these people are real people, right? And that's why, you know, when people meet celebrities, they go, oh, well, you know what? I met him and you know what he's really like, right? Because the facade is the show out front. The other thing to keep in mind is co-workers, people that work with you at work, okay? They're not necessarily your friends. They're co-workers. They're people that, so you go to the workplace to get a job done, to get your pay, right? To make money, okay? And then you meet people there, okay? But those people are there for the same reason you're there, okay? And sometimes you have to put it in its proper perspective. Because when you're manifesting your life, when you're manifesting your money, right? Working for your money, let's say it a different way. When you're accomplishing your goals, not everyone along the journey is there for your best interest. They're there for their best interest. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because you're there for you. They're there for them. If somehow you bond and you come together and you become friends and you form some kind of relationship or some kind of alliance or some kind of commonality, right? Then that's good. Okay? But manifestation is not magic. That's what I'm here to dispel. Okay, because everybody's talking about manifestation like it's magic, like the spirit is going to come and provide you with all, you know, like the genie when you rub the lamp, you know, that kind of, all those are movies. Those are in the movies. Are there good spirits and evil spirits? Yes. If you're trying to manifest an evil spirit or you're trying to bring an evil spirit into your life to help you, it's evil, right? It's dark, right? It's a demon, right? Okay, so you don't need that. You don't need that. You need something positive. Whatever positive is for you. Now, some people say God, some people say universe, some people say source, some people say Jesus Christ, some people say Allah. Whatever you say, it doesn't matter. We're going to assign that the label of the superconscious. So there's the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Everything you have, everything you've done, every person you've met has been attracted into your life based upon your subconscious beliefs. You can look that up. So your subconscious is your book of life. Now the subconscious, we mentioned these things yesterday. I'm going to touch on it. Okay, so that your subconscious can think like that. It can assimilate an opinion like that. It can form an answer or give you an answer like that. Okay, much like AI can. Why is this important? Well, because you don't need to learn how to brush your teeth every day. You don't need to learn how to drive the car every day. You don't need to learn how to get to work every day, right? It's memorized. It's in your subconscious. So your subconscious does 95% of the work every day. Your conscious mind you're not really, so let's say it another way, you're not really conscious of everything you do every day because you have habits. Now, you can say, oh, well, I'm conscious of everything I do every day. But if that's true, and if it's all committed to your subconscious, what is your conscious mind doing? It's observing. It's observing. And it's running on autopilot. You're running on autopilot and you're observing yourself on autopilot. Now, taking yourself off of autopilot only happens maybe 5%, maybe 10% at the most every day. So you may ask yourself, well, how do I change my manifestation? If out here looks like crap, That means inside here, okay, there's something crappy in here and it's being put out here. So how do we fix out here? Well, we fix it from in here. How do I fix my relationship? She's not responding to me. He's not responding to me. You know, she's doing whatever she pleases and disregarding me. Well, how do I fix that? You fix it in here. When you become strong in here, when you stop reacting the same way in here, everything else out here goes, hey, wait a minute, that's not the same program. Hey, wait a minute, that's not the same person. Hey, wait a minute, that normally does not happen. What's going on? You see? And confidence in this context, confidence is clarity. When you're clear, when you're relaxed. Because then what are you left with? Well, you're not cluttered with ideas. You're not cluttered with, maybe this, maybe that, maybe, what should I choose? Maybe this, maybe that, back and forth. Okay, busy thinking, overthinking. Okay, your brain is not in overdrive. You're relaxed. Answers come like this. Answers come like this. What about the superconscious? It gives you intuitive thought. So this comes from the right brain, the right hemisphere of the brain. Intuition, imagination, intuitive thought, all of that. But you can't hear it when you're too busy. Or let's say it another way, you can't feel it when you're too busy. Because when you hear it, you're just imagining your voice. When you lose touch with intuitive thought because of distraction, it's not because you have a bad memory, it's not because you have a bad mind. It's not because of any of that. You're the highest intelligence on the planet. I mean, they're trying to do artificial intelligence at a higher rate of speed and all of that. Yeah, I get it, okay. But I'm talking about living, breathing beings with heartbeats and feelings and emotions and empathy and kindness and generosity. I'm talking about humanity. So, when you look at the subconscious and you go, oh, okay, well, I've had all these experiences in my subconscious, and now when I see something that looks similar to something in the past, what happens? Boom, judgment, right? Or you react the same way towards things. You have that knee-jerk experience, right? That knee-jerk reaction. The subconscious puts everything together instantaneously and forms an opinion. How do you get rid of that? Well, affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. What is the ideal state? The ideal state is observer. When you can observe these things and not engage with them. Because when you engage, you join energetically. Because everything is energy. Everything in the universe is energy. I'm talking about the energy in here. This is what we all have in common. Awareness. Okay? So, awareness is what we all have in common. Do you have... Yeah, I just mentioned it. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Thank you for pinning the comment, Jay. Yeah. So victim mindset is when you think that life is happening like this to you. Okay, life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you based upon what you believe in your subconscious. So you need to change your subconscious thinking, your subconscious programming. You're welcome. Okay, and the way you do that is very simple. It's repetition. The subconscious learns in repetition. So what does that mean? That means you have to be faithful to it. I don't like to use the term self-discipline because it turns everybody off and everybody goes, oh, that's work. Oh, and they don't do it. But repetition is important. You have to repeat. So every day, here, this is repetition. All right, let me show you. All right. So these are the affirmations that I'm working on now, and this is the one I just finished. So let me show you. Okay, these are affirmations. This is not journaling. Don't get it confused. Okay, don't get it twisted. And yeah, it looks like chicken scratch, because I write it out very quickly. But guess what? It goes all into my subconscious. It's not about how good your handwriting is, because my handwriting sucks. Okay, because I do it as fast as possible. But I used to write songs that fast, and they just come. Channel. Okay, let's talk about channeling and what it really is. Channeling comes from the superconscious. So there's the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious states of awareness in here, in everyone, in me, in you. Have you ever been explaining something to someone, like telling them how to do something, explaining a process, and then all of a sudden you start saying things that you didn't even know you knew, and you go, whoa, I better remember this. I didn't even know I knew this, right? And you start, because you're channeling. And then you go, wow, this is amazing. I wish I could write this down, because you're talking. That's a demonstration of your infinite knowledge. It's coming from the superconscious, or let's say consciousness, or let's say God, or Jesus Christ. However you believe. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I believe as I do. I'm not here to push my beliefs on anybody, okay? But I'm here to tell you that that's what it is. Think about it. You're sitting there, you're talking to your bestie, you're having coffee at a Starbucks, and you're talking to your girlfriend or boyfriend or best friend, and you start saying things that you didn't even know you knew, because you're on caffeine and it's stimulating thought, and now you're thinking, and you're speaking, you're having a good time, but you start spitting knowledge. And you go, wow, I didn't even know I knew this. That's channeling. Now, is it some kind of evil spirit? No, it's not. It's your subconscious. Your subconscious accumulates data over your lifetime. Your subconscious can hear things if you're in the vicinity of, let's say, a movie. Let's say a YouTube video. Let's say a conversation. And it's always the tiniest amount of volume that the subconscious reaches for and grabs. It's not the loudest thing. Okay? If you say affirmations and don't believe it would be effective. Oh, so yeah, so you have to bring yourself around to belief. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. So you can write that. I am so happy and grateful now that I believe affirmations work. Thank you. There you go. The reason is self-doubt. Okay, and you've been taught to doubt yourself. You've been taught to doubt yourself from many things. Things that didn't work. Other people that, play mind tricks on you, that gaslight you, that tell you something is not like this, it's like that. And you're looking at it and you go, well, I see it like that. Oh, no, that's not that. That's this, right? That's gaslighting. Now, gaslighting it's become a new buzzword, okay? Really. Okay? People that do that are belittling you. They're dismissing you. Okay, they're not operating your best interest. I worked in a studio full of comedians that used to gaslight each other every day as a rule. Okay, they gaslighted me. And the first couple of times I reacted, and I saw the reaction I got from the reaction I gave, and I go, oh, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get me to react. So I started seeing how good I could give them a reaction, and I thought it was very amusing because I was observing myself giving reactions. And they kept, good morning, Rock Painting Mama. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And so it was kind of fun for me because, I was reacting and then watching their reaction to the reaction. And they're gaslighting. So they would gaslight me. I would react on, I would think about it for a second. My subconscious put it together like that. And then I would react like an overreaction and then watch their reaction. It was funny. It was so funny. Most people don't do that though. Okay? Because first of all, you have to be aware that you're being gaslit. Secondly, you're going to have to not take that seriously. You're going to have to be the observer. Or let's say it another way, independent of it. You know, the sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me kind of thing. If you know you're being called a name, this is hypothetically, okay? If you know something is being projected onto you, now you can be the observer. And you can observe it happening. And then you can issue a deliberate response. And that response could either, feed into it on purpose, or you could redirect it and totally extinguish it or get rid of it. Or, you see what I'm saying? It can't hurt you in that way. Why? Because you're aware. A lot of people aren't aware when they're getting gaslit. A lot of people are not aware when they're being deceived. A lot of people are not. Why? Because they're distracted. Human beings know when they're being deceived. And that's why people have to lie to you. They have to tell you, when they lie to you, they have to tell you a little bit of the truth, and then they lie to you a little bit. They have to mix it together. Because if they just outright lied to you, you have a BS meter in here, and you go, oh, yep, I call BS, right? There you go. All right. So, Billy, good morning, Billy. How you doing, Billy? Hey, that's my gang right here. Good morning. So, right? Why am I telling you this? Because if you want to stop being affected by projection, negative projection, deliberate negative projection, you need to be independent of it. How do you do that? Affirmations, meditation, focalization, visualization, especially meditation. Meditation will allow you to separate everything, okay, and to put it in its proper context. How does this happen? It takes you away from the distractions. It exposes distraction. When you meditate, when you sit still, I'm not talking about chanting, I'm not talking about practices. I'm talking about stillness. You were born with all of these abilities. You're a spiritual being. You have been led to believe a lot of things. Okay, you have been distracted into a lot of physical things. There's the physical and the spiritual. This is the spiritual in here. This is the physical that's bound to the physical world. Because if you didn't have this one, your spirit would go. You are anchored into the physical world by your body. But we have distractions. The distractions pull you into a different reality. I don't care whether it's the brand new car, the brand new house, the girl, the guy, whatever. You get pulled into that reality. Like the first 2 months when you meet somebody and you're, wow, love, love, love. You're not even thinking straight. Why? Well, because you're thinking of this new experience, this wonderful experience you're going through. And sometimes that experience lasts for years. But you choose your reality. I was talking to Jay this morning, and I said I was going to touch on this subject. And the subject was how to address the fact that, how people discover the truth, right? Or let's say underlying circumstances to what we perceive to be reality. Okay? Let's say that. And those people are what they call themselves truthers, right? Because, they discover truth or whatever, okay? But it's just underlying circumstances, hidden circumstances. In other words, what's the motive to this? Why do they have this, why does the United States print their own money? That kind of thing, like that kind of stuff, right? So you have people that discover these things, and then you have people that belong to the system. And the people that discover, the back end to the system, right, or the other side to the system, look at the people who abide by the system and live in the system and support the system and work for the system and live on the system, right? And they go, no, you guys are doing it wrong. And those people look at those people and go, no, you guys are crazy. And these people are going, no, you guys are crazy because you can't see it. Because you can't see it when you're in it. That's just an example. I'm not hating on the system or the government or anything. Okay? It's the same with religion. You become bound into the believing. So whether you believe in the system, religion, your parents, your neighbor, when I was a kid, there was this guy in my neighborhood. We all believed in him. He was an Eagle Scout. He was like the ideal guy. He knew how to do everything. He was a karate champion. This guy was everything. He was an all-around good guy. And we believed in him. We trusted him. And he never led us wrong. He was a good leader. And he died very young, in adult life later. But he was a great guy. So whenever there's someone like this, right, everybody follows. Why do they follow? Well, because this guy always was honest with them. He wouldn't lead them wrong. People like people like that, right? But I'm just saying that whatever you choose to believe, okay, that becomes your center point. You become fixated with that. So the people that believe that money is everything, okay, because we were talking about that yesterday, right? God and mammon. Money is everything. Money, 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 money. They focus on money. Sometimes money is all they get, right? Because sometimes they're just left with like all this abundance of money, but then their relationship sucks. And then you have people over here that believe in the relationship. They love their family. They love their other half. And guess what? They have a lot of love. Maybe not that much money on this side, right? But a lot of love over here. And they look at it like this is the thing. And they're correct. And the people over here that believe, okay, money's the thing, they're correct. But on this side, maybe not so much money. On this side, maybe not so much love. And this is why balance is important. And this is why if you focus out here, like I was saying yesterday, if you focus out here and you start choosing, okay, love, okay, if you're talking about love like Valentine's Day, right? Like it wants you to believe it is. Oh, Valentine's, oh yeah, love, flowers, hearts, rose petals on the bed, Valentine's Day. It's commercial. It's hollow. That's not what this family over here has. That's not what they do. They don't do Valentine's Day. It's not about that. Ask any family that watches out and cares and loves each other. Okay? But it's not that. But we're presented with these ideas. So we buy into them and it becomes our reality. So sometimes what I'm saying is that sometimes you have a false perception of what something is, and then you start wanting it. And when you start wanting it, because it's artificial out here, it's artificial in here. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you're manifesting. Okay? This is why in the Bible, Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom, and all else will be added unto you. What does that mean? Literally, what does it mean? It means when you focus on in here, okay, stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're always, oh, look at my neighbor. Oh, he's got a new grill. I better go buy a new grill. You see? You don't have to do that. Maybe new grill is not in your life path. Maybe God's going to give you a new house. Maybe God's going to give you whatever. Okay, but whatever it is that's in your core beliefs, and this is why it's important to believe in this one. Because if you believe in God, you have to believe in this. Okay, so you cannot serve two masters. You either serve in here and you worship in here, or you worship out here. Gautama Buddha said this is an illusion. Why is it an illusion? Because it's not really real as opposed to what's in here. Why isn't it real? I see it. I see the building. It's built. Yeah, and the building came from someone else's in here. It serves a purpose. It serves a purpose in society. Okay, did we have a comment? Did I miss a comment there, Jay? No, okay. I'm sorry, I'm just checking. I don't want to ignore you guys. But the only thing out there is nature and things from someone else's in here. And I always say, if they can, you can. So everything out here is a creation from somebody's imagination. Some engineer, you know, some person involved in drafting, construction, invention. But then we become attached to physical things. Yesterday I was talking about, and it happened to me. I mean, my first brand new car, right? I named the car. I was so careful with the car. I didn't want to scratch the car, right? And the second car, I was like, okay, this is just a car. Don't get ridiculous, because I saw how ridiculous I was getting about it. It's just a car. By the time I had my third car, that's the one that got totaled in the wreck. I told the story yesterday, and I told the girl, I said, it's just a car. And she looked at me like I was talking bubbles. And she looked at me like, huh? Just a car? What? Like I had 15 cars at home, and it's just another car. No, that's not the idea. But when you live in abundance, you realize this. Abundance from God. Okay? Now, if you're living out here and this is your focus, maybe abundance would have to be your bank account. Maybe your abundance would have to be everything physical. But when you ask, ask, believe, receive, okay? These are principles of manifestation, but they're in every holy book, written in different ways. In the Holy Bible, it's Mark 11:24. I only reference the Bible. I'm not here to push Bible. I'm not here to push Christianity, although I believe in it, but I'm not here to push it. I'm just saying this is what I'm familiar with, okay? So Mark 11:24. When you ask and you believe in the asking. So first, the asking, right? A belief is a thought you keep thinking. So it has to go into your subconscious in repetition. Then you can believe it. And only then you can believe it. So you pray and you ask until you believe it. Okay? Now, if you have trouble believing because you're suffering low self-esteem, because you don't think too much of yourself, maybe because you think you don't deserve it, maybe because you think you're not worthy, then you need to pray for acceptance so that you can accept it as a belief. This is where meditation comes in, because you will be still in God's presence, because God lives in here. Close your distractors, okay, and just sit still. I do my meditation every day, 30 minutes. You don't have to do 30 minutes, okay? You can do 10. You can start with 3. It's a challenge. Why? Because you have that knee-jerk response. I could be doing the dishes. I'm wasting time. I could be doing, could be, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Because society has done this to you. Society has conditioned you to respond this way. So now more people have anxiety. Okay, here, okay? like that. More people have anxiety, right? Because you see things on here, dopamine hits, right? You see things in here, shock value, okay? So it's hard to sit still. It's hard to just be chill. You have to practice these things. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Okay, so the affirmations you know. Where's the pen? Wrong pen. Here we go. Okay, I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident. Thank you. Why confidence? Because confidence is a still, relaxed, gentle, clear feeling. It's not a busy feeling. It's not overthinking. It's not anxiety. Okay? It's the opposite of those things. So how do you get there? The 4 pillars. First, write about it. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm confident. Thank you. In 2 weeks, if you do this every morning and you recite it out loud, because you can speak things into existence in your subconscious, okay? But if you do this in 2 weeks, you'll feel the shift. When you get a negative thought, you can dismiss it by saying stop. And you have 6 seconds to do this. Your fight or flight syndrome, the amygdala, right? It takes 6 seconds to shut it off. Because after 6 seconds, you get all the what ifs, the negative what if this happens, what if that happens, what if this happens, what if that, and your imagination starts to build and build that monster. And pretty soon it's not one negative thing you're thinking about, it's like a negative thing with a list of variables on how it could happen and how it could become real. And that's your imagination going, dude, this could happen, right? And that monster gets bigger and bigger, 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 bigger. Until you have the WTF moment, okay? Do you reread your affirmations regularly? I just look at the page, Billy. I just look, so like this one here, my new one, let me grab my new one. So what I do is like I have an open page like this, and so I read these. I don't go back and read, like, if I go back here, like a long time ago, and I read these, I look for things that happen. Yeah, so I see some things that have happened. And sometimes, so here's another thing I'll share with you too, Billy. Sometimes, let's say you write an affirmation for $500. Okay, I didn't do that. I'm just saying, and that's not wrong to do. Okay, but let's say you do that, and let's say you get $200. You're gonna be ecstatic. You're gonna be happy. Okay, so even if your target is above what you need or above what's necessary. Okay, think big. Think big. Don't be humble in the sense that you need to be small. Humility is not small. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. It's putting others first. But that doesn't mean you leave you out. Humility does not mean that. It doesn't mean you leave yourself out of stuff or diminish yourself so that, everyone else is glorified or whatever. No, it just means you don't glorify yourself. You don't come out and, hey, I'm the man or I'm the woman or whatever, okay? It's not like that. So humility is thinking of others first, putting others first. This is why I have service companies. I built a family of service companies, not product companies, for several reasons. One is because the simple principle that when you help someone else attain what it is they want, God gives you what you want. I think Brian Tracy or somebody said that. Well, it's very, very old. It's an old principle. But that's the fastest way to get what you want. Help somebody else get what they want first. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. If you're let's say you're an athlete and you see a little kid and they want to do what you do. Okay, help them. That's what these clinics are for, right? The athletes come, the professional athletes, and then they help little kids and stuff like that. You think they don't get it back? Of course they do. What goes around comes around from your subconscious. Your subconscious knows what you're doing. Right now, my subconscious knows I'm talking. It doesn't know I'm talking to you, but it knows that I'm speaking about these things. You write your affirmations every day as part of your day, making the 4 pillars a habit. Yeah. Make the 4 pillars a habit. It's helped me with my companies. It's helped me with my life. It's helped me with my relationships, everything. And that's another thing, Billy. Are you married? If you're married, it will bond you closer. If you're not married, you'll start meeting a lot of people because it's magnetic. Okay, so anyway. So when you talk about envy and covetousness, okay, trying to take what somebody else has or being envy about what somebody else has, okay, just know that you don't need to do that. Okay? Because your abundance is not in the things that you possess or take. Okay, that's not abundance. That will produce the opposite effect. You're not married, okay? That'll bring a lot of girls. And the reason I say that is because women know when you love them authentically, like when you just love them, and women just want to be loved, and men just want to be appreciated. So you will be appreciated. Yep, just project the love, because love is unconditional. Okay, if you have a condition on it, or if you have the attitude in a relationship like, okay, I'm gonna go out with this girl, but she better XYZ or whatever, right? Or this better lead to something. If you have that kind of expectation, forget it. Because you have to let go of the condition. Love is unconditional. And if you come from love, or let's say if you come from clarity, okay, without all the ideas in your head, and you're just in your natural state, women will love you. Women love me because they know I love them. It's that simple. You're a Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Sorry. So men, yeah, and men will be more. There you go. You see, somebody said hello already on the chat. Oh boy. Okay. That's your dog's name. Okay. Sorry, I thought that was your name. Okay, so you're Milo. So it says Billy and Milo. That's your dog's names. Okay, I see you. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. Sorry about that. I thought you were a guy because it said Billy. All right. So it works the same way for women. Okay. You see, the thing about women, let me just mention, because I don't talk about relationships too much because the algorithms get really sensitive on me because I speak in real terms. Okay. You know why women get really flustered and upset when a man extends things to her? Okay. And I'm talking about like giving compliments, excessive compliments, because some men feel they need to compliment to get on their good side. Okay. That's not true. Okay. So the other thing is gifts. Okay. The guy who shows up on the first date with a rose and a box of chocolates or so, I don't know. But okay. But here's the back end to that for women. Okay. So I'm glad you're listening. The back end is that the more confident a woman becomes, okay, or let's say the more clarity she achieves, okay, and the more confidence she has in herself, the less those things bother her. Because then she's astute enough, first of all, to understand that, well, he's just being a guy. Men love to provide, okay? They love to provide. They love to give, especially to a girl, right? Because it's been ingrained in our culture. It's in the movies. It's on the Hallmark Channel. Of course, don't use the Hallmark Channel as a guide for dating. I'm just saying, right? But yeah. So you guys can keep talking over there. You might find something there. Anyway, but seriously, okay, the more confident a woman is, the easier she can accept compliments. Because if you don't like yourself, right, compliments are difficult no matter who you are, guy, girl, whatever, okay? But the more confident you are in yourself, the higher your self-esteem, the less those things affect you. Okay, so if someone's trying to put you on a pedestal, you'll understand what's going on. And if you really like the guy, but the guy's like this, I like the guy. Like everything about him's good, but, right? Here's your big fat but, okay, but he takes me out too much. He's giving me presents and that kind of thing. The more confident you become, the less it bothers you. Because you realize, well, that's his understanding, that's him. Okay? And at some point, it might run its course and you might be tired of it. And you'll get rid of it. Okay? But the more confident you are as a woman, the more you can accept. Why? Because you love yourself. Because you love this one. It's important. When you look in the mirror, okay, you need to love what you see. That's not narcissism. That's acceptance. Narcissism is when you have no empathy for others. Narcissism is when you deliberately do things to other people, right, that a normal person wouldn't do because it's all about you. It's never mind them. It's all about you. That's narcissism. And everyone has some narcissism in them. It's just, some things amplify narcissism. Okay? And then what does that do? It grows the narcissism part of you. There was a period of, I had to do a lot of self-promotion in the entertainment world. I had to make posters. I had to have my graphics designer design things about me, right? And I had to put that out, that kind of thing, right? And after a while, I got concerned, and I'm like, dude, because I'm aware, right? I'm aware, and I was like, dude, are you becoming a narcissist? And I had to really think about it, right? Because I was in the habit of like, okay, let's look at the graphics this week. I had a graphic artist; she used to submit things to me weekly, and we would work on projects like that. But it was about me, because I was in entertainment, and I was the celebrity dude. So it always helps if you start to question. So question everything, especially yourself. Question yourself. Hey, is this, whatever? Whatever it is. Am I becoming narcissistic? Do I have empathy? Am I generous? That kind of thing. So normally, when I do my intakes with my clients, I ask them to write down 100 positive I ams. Why is that important? So that they focus on the positive things about them. So that they concentrate on what's good about them. Okay, I actually had a guy in my office, and this is years ago. I had a guy in my office stand in the middle of my office and go, he said, I need to know what's wrong with me. And I said, why? And he said, so I can fix it. And I said, that's not how you fix what's wrong. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, you focus on what's right and you grow that, and eventually it overtakes what's wrong. Okay? So here's the 50 percentile. This is positive, this is negative. You don't take this part of someone and go, hey, look at this, look at that. Why? Because like attracts like. If they're preoccupied with negativity over here, guess what? This is going to go this way. This is going to grow. And the positivity will shrink. Okay, so from the 50 percentile, right? We focus on the positive and we push it this way. And what is this? Well, here, 50%, go 51%, 52%. It takes some time, so I normally give my clients free time because this is expensive if it takes long. And if I see that someone is really struggling, or someone is really, like a, let's say, more serious a case than another, then I do that. But I give my life to this. This is my time is my life, right? Your time is your life, you guys. My voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow, that's a high compliment. Thank you very much. My time is my life. Your time is your life. How are you going to spend your time? I get everything I want in my life. I have to wait sometimes. Sometimes I have to wait. And I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about material things. I'm talking about opportunities. I'm talking about clients. I'm talking about everything. And sometimes I have to wait. That's just the way it is. When you form your center point, right, your timeline corresponds to you, but the universe is not going to snap like this. Sometimes you have to wait for this to go like this, okay? And when you're angry, right, it starts to go like this. When you get mad, it starts to go like that. Then you get happy again, then it starts to come back like this. You see? Okay? And this is why you have to grow what's good. You have to grow what's good, because like attracts like, and goodness will come. When you're mad, your vibe pushes things away like this. When you're happy, this gets dissolved and things come. Okay? It's all about energy. When you ramp up your energy, when you go running, when you do the gym, when you do whatever you do, whatever makes you happy, go fishing, spend time with the kids, hug the kids, love the kids, right? Whatever makes you happy. Oh, you've listened to my music. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, my music is online. I don't talk about it here, and I don't plug it, but thank you so much. My music was another thing. I wanted to do music. My idea was I was going to sign a recording contract with a record company. I was going to be discovered. I was going to do all that, right? Wrong. That's not how it happened. I had to produce my own. I had to do it myself. Okay? But when you come from here, okay, when you come from the knowledge that you're a spiritual being, that you can attract things, that you will attract opportunities, that you will attract the money to do whatever it is you want to do, that you can attract the situations that will bring the right people and the right circumstances together. And the doors will open as you take the steps towards anything you want. When you come from that knowledge, life becomes easier. It doesn't become like super easy. Like I said, sometimes you have to wait. You have to be patient. You have to go through the steps. And sometimes the steps is conditioning your subconscious. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. You have to see yourself there, visualization. You have to see yourself with the end result. I had to see myself with the albums. I have 9 albums online. And I had to see myself with the first one. The first 2 came up, first. I put 2 albums up in 1 year. And then there were years that went by and I didn't do it, And I'm scheduled to put more music that's already produced for my career up. And, I just haven't made time for that yet. But I'm being patient. But visualize. Imagine what it's going to be like when you love yourself. Imagine what it's going to be like when your kids, change their attitude towards you because you've changed. Imagine what it's going to be like when you can experience more freedom in your life to do the things you really want to do versus the things you feel you have to do. Okay, because if you feel you have to do something and it goes against your personal feelings in here, or your core beliefs, or whatever it is, but you're doing this to survive, to get by, I'm here to tell you that you don't need those things. You can let them go. Oh, have a wonderful day, Billy. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. put your name up there so I can call you by your name. Okay. Thank you, me. Okay. Thank you very much. Don't feel that you need to do this because your neighbor does this, because the school or the college has told you you have to do this. Okay? I know people that come out of college that know less than the people that didn't go. Okay? Because they took their thinking like this and then they compressed it like this and they said, okay, this is your career. Here, we're going to put you on this path over here. And that's all they focused on. And that's all they're good at. And that's all they know. Okay? And it's a limitation. Okay. Oh, there goes the puzzle piece. It's a limitation. Okay? And what happens normally in that situation is later on in life, they start going like this because they go, wow, I'm 40 years old and I'm missing stuff. I'm 40 years old and I haven't even considered other things. I've just been work, corporation, whatever it is, like that, okay? It's not wrong, okay? But if you can catch it early, if you're in your 30s, I caught it early, but if you can catch it early when you're in your 30s, your late 20s, okay, catch it, understand it, get in touch with the energy in here. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. There's a separation between the body and spirit, and the spirit has command over the body and the physical world all day long. Okay? You can be in the system and not of the system. You can thrive within a system and bring everything to you through your subconscious. Because the superconscious always accommodates what's in the subconscious. Okay? This is not a secret. This is science. You can research it. The explanation is a little different in certain areas, but that's the overview, and that's how it works, and that's how you can change your life. Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. again, Hawaii time. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for moderating. Thank you, guys. We're going to let go of our international stream on